Dear children, in this video session you are going to learn about Unit 7 poem of the English Samachit Kalvi book of Standard 10. The name of the poem is The House on Elm Street, written by Nadia Bush. In this poem, the poetess talks about a mysterious house on Elm Street. Let's move on to the video session to know more about this mysterious house. Dear children, in this video session you are going to learn about the Unit 7 poem of the English Samachit Kalvi book of Standard 10. The name of the poem is The House on Elm Street, written by the poetess Nadia Bush. And now a few words about the poetess. The House on Elm Street was published by Nadia Bush, a budding poetess, in April 2017. Born on September 24th, she lives in Somerset, Pennsylvania. She loves the movie Paranormal Activity. TRVL channel's Ghost Adventures is one of her favorite programs. She has a pet cat, and perhaps her lifestyle makes her pen such a mysterious poem about the dark when it was given as an assignment. Now let us go through the lines of the first stanza. It sat alone. What happened there is still today unknown. It is a very mysterious place, and inside you can tell it has a ton of space. But at the same time, it is bare to the bone. Nadia Bush, the poetess, talks about a house that stood alone in an isolated place on Elm Street. No one knows what happens inside that house, and it is very mysterious. Even by looking from outside, one can easily say that it has a vast space, but at the same time it is bare to the bone, meaning there is no one living inside the mysterious house, or no basic necessities inside the house on Elm Street. Now the next stanza. At night, the house seems to be alive. Lights flicker on and off. I am often tempted to go to the house to just take a look and see what it is really about, but fear takes over me. Here, generally at night, the house looks like it is alive with people in it. Lights are switched on and off. When Nadia sees such a situation, she is tempted to go inside the house to just take a look and see what is actually happening inside the house. However, Nadia the poetess is frightened and never dares to do so. Now look at this stanza. I drive past the house almost every day. The house seems to be a bit brighter on this warm summer day in May. It plays with your mind. To me, I say it is one of a kind. Every day, the poetess drives past the house. The house seemed to look a bit brighter on one fine warm summer day in the month of May. The very thought of this mysterious house plays with your mind, since it is just one house of this kind in the areas known to her. That means she has not seen any other mysterious house in her place. Now we'll go through the lines of the next stanza. Beside the house sits a tree. It never grows leaves, not in the winter, spring, summer or fall. It just sits there, never getting small or ever growing tall. How could this be? Next to the house, there is a tree. The tree too is mysterious like the house, since it has no leaves in any of the seasons. The tree is barren during winter. Barren means without leaves. The tree is barren during winter, spring, summer, and fall means autumn season when the leaves are shed down. The poetess says that the tree just stays there and never grows tall nor becomes very short. That is why it looks very mysterious. She wonders how a tree could survive without any leaves or without any growth. Isn't it mysterious, children? Now the last stanza of this poem. Rumors are constantly being made, and each day the house just begins to fade. What happened inside that house, I really don't know. I guess it will always be a mystery. Here, the poetess says that there are rumors. Rumors means not real, not a fact. That means passed around by word of mouth. So, there are rumors always spreading regularly about this mysterious house on Elm Street. Every day the house begins to fade. No one knows what happens inside the house, just as she is unaware of the same. The poetess guesses that it will always be a mystery about this house on Elm Street. Nadia Bush wasn't really sure that to write at first. She wrote this poem for her English class because she was told to write a dark poem. She decided to write about a house that no one knows what happened inside. Nadia Bush, the poetess, talks about a house that stood alone in an isolated place on Elm Street. No one knows what happens inside that house, and it is very mysterious. Generally at night, the house looks like it is alive with people in it. Lights are switched on and off. It gives a feel that someone is inside the house. Every day the house also begins to fade, making it all the more mysterious. Now let us go through the rhyming words and the rhyme scheme of this poem. Now let us look at the first stanza. It sat alone. What happened there is still today unknown. It is a very mysterious place, and inside you can tell it as a ton of space, but at the same time it is bare to the bone. In this stanza, the rhyming words are alone, unknown, and bone. The next pair of rhyming words are place and space. So, the rhyme scheme used here is A, B, B, A. So, first line, the last word is alone. It is rhyming with the second line last word and the last line last word. So, all these three lines will get the rhyme scheme name as letter A. And then third line, the last word is place. This word is rhyming with the last word of the fourth line, space. So, place, space will be given the name, that is a rhyme scheme name as letter B. So, the rhyme scheme is A, B, B, A. In the second stanza, there are no rhyming words. So, the rhyme scheme used here is A, B, C, D, E. Because the last words of all the lines are different words, not rhyming with any of the words. So, the rhyme scheme used here is A, B, C, D, E. Now, if you take a look at the third stanza, the rhyme scheme used here is A, B, A, C, C. That means the first line last word is day. It is rhyming with the third line last word May. So, day and May will get the name as letter A. And the second line last word is brighter. It is not rhyming with any of the other lines last word. So, letter B is given to that line. And then fourth line and fifth line both are having rhyming words at the end of the lines, that is mind and kind. So, the rhyme words used in this stanza are May, day. This is one pair of rhyming words. And the next pair of rhyming words are mind and kind. So, the rhyme scheme used here is A, B, A, C, C. Now, look at this next stanza, that is the fourth stanza. Here, the rhyming words are tree and bee. So, first pair of rhyming words are tree and bee. The next pair of rhyming words are fall and tall. And the next line last word leaves is not rhyming with any of the words. So, the rhyme scheme used here is A, B, C, C, A. Now, let us take a look at the last stanza. Here, the first line last word is made. And second line last word is fade. So, made and fade are rhyming words. And then third line last word is house. It is not rhyming with any of the words in any of the lines. And fourth line and fifth line last words are also not rhyming with any of the words. So, we give the letters as B, C, D. So, the rhyme scheme used here is A, B, C, D. Now let us take a look at the figures of speech used in this poem. The first figure of speech used here is alliteration. So alliteration I have already described in the previous video sessions that if two or more words or group of words begins with the same consonant letter or consonant sound, then the figure of speech used will be alliteration. Now here, for example, if you take the last line of the first stanza, but at the same time it is bare to the bone. Now here, bare and bone, both these words begin with the letter B, which is a consonant letter. So bare and bone, these two are alliterated words. So the figure of speech used here is alliteration. One more example, if you take the third stanza, I drive past the house almost every day. Here, drive and day begins with the same consonant letter D. So the figure of speech used here is again alliteration. Next line in the same stanza, the house seems to be a bit brighter. Bit brighter, both these words begins with the same letter, that is the consonant letter B. So again the figure of speech used here is alliteration. The next figure of speech used here in this poem is synopto. Synopto is a figure of speech in which a part is made to represent the whole or vice versa. For example, the western wave was all aflame. The western wave is a synopto as it refers to the sea by the name of one of its parts, that is wave. So wave, western wave is a synopto because here this word refers to the sea. Now if you look at the fourth line of the first stanza of this poem, that is, look at this line, and inside you can tell it has a ton of space. Here ton of space is a synopto because this line indicates the size of the house. Paradox is another figure of speech used in this poem. This is a figure of speech in which a statement appears to contradict itself. For example, to bring peace we must war. So peace and war both are contradictory word, that is opposite words. Next example is be cruel to be kind. Cruel and kind both are opposite words to each other. Now in this line, that is lights flicker on and off. That is the second stanza, second line of this poem is lights flicker on and off. On and off both are opposite to each other. They are contradictory words. So that is why the figure of speech used here is paradox. Another figure of speech used in this poem is onomatopoeia. This is a figure of speech wherein the word imitates the sound associated with the object it refers to. For example, pitter patter, pitter patter. Another example, raindrops on my pane. Now if you look at the last stanza of this poem, that is, rumors are constantly being made. The meaning of rumors is passed around by word of mouth. So this line is an example for the figure of speech onomatopoeia. Another figure of speech used in this poem is rhetorical questions. A figure of speech in the form of a question that is asked to make a point rather than to elicit an answer is called rhetorical questions. Now look at the last stanza, third line. What happened inside that house? This line is an example for the figure of speech rhetorical questions because here a question is not asked to get an answer, but it is asked to make a point. So what happened inside that house? Nobody knows because it's a mysterious house. So here a point is stressed to make the reader to know that it is a mysterious house.